Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 4 from SC6, and our presentation title is Security Application on Computer Network. And before we start the presentation, I will introduce our group member. The first, let me introduce myself. My name is Maulida, khoirun Nuzul, and my partner is Salsabilla, Armelia, Putri, and it's me, Rizki, Sopiyanti.
My name is Salsabilla, Putri. I will describe about background. Computer security is information security applied to computers and their networks. Computer security aims to help users prevent fraud or detect fraudulent attempts in an information-based system. The information itself has a non-physical meaning. Computer security is a branch of technology known as information security applied to computers. The objective of computer security include protecting information against theft or corruption or maintaining availability as defined in the security policy.
Definition: Computer security. Computer security is a branch of technology known as information security applied to in computer. The understanding of computer security varies. For example, we can see some definition of computer security according to the expert, including, according to the John D. Howard in his book, An Analysis of Security Incident on Internet, states that computer security is a precaution against attacks by irresponsible computer users or network access. According to the Goldman in 1999 in his book, Computer Science, a Computer Security, states that computer security is related to self-prevention and detection of intrusive actions that are not recognized in a computer system.
Hello, my name is Rizki Sopiyanti. I want to talk to you about computer network. Computer network is a group of computers that are connected to each other so that it can be used to share data, information, use of hardware, and others to make it easier for humans to complete their work. This computer network develops in accordance with developments in information technology due to high human need for data and information processing tools. Almost every company, office, school, organization in this world has many computers that are used by many people who work in their groups. To make it easier for them to work together, all of these computers must be connected to one another.
In physical layer, there is 9 points. There are transmission media topologies, transmission media connector, pin-out assignment, signal speed and voltage, signal encoding, transmission devices, handshaking procedures, interface to data link layer. Data link layer. The main text of the data layer is to facilitate the transmission of raw data and transmit the data to a channel that is free from transmission error. Before being passed to the network layer, the data link layer performs this task by allowing by sender to split the input data into a number of data frames, usually 100 or 1000 of bytes. Then the data link layer transmits the frames sequentially and process the acknowledgement frame sent back by the receiver. Because the physical layer accepts and sends bit stream regardless of the meaning or architecture of the frame. It is up to the data link layer to create and recognize the frame boundaries. Transport layer. Main function of this layer are responsible for source to destination delivery of the entire message. Second, segmentation and reassembly divide message into smaller segments, number them and transmit. Reassemble the message at the receiving end. Third, error control. Make sure that the entire message arrives without error, else retransmit. Session layer. The session layer allows user to establish session with other user. A session besides allowing ordinary data transport, such as that performed by the transport layer, also provides special service for certain applications. A session service layer is for the dialog control. Session allow traffic to move in both directions at time or only in one direction. If at one time the traffic is only in one direction, the session layer helps to determine which turn is entitled to use the channel. Presentation layer. The layer is the sixth layer and is used to perform three actions on the data AI transmit from application layer to presentation layer. They are first encoding or decoding, second encryption or decryption, third compression or decompression. In short, presentation layer decided how the data will be transmitted to session while sending or to presentation while receiving. Application layer. The application layer consists of a variety of protocols. The function of the application layer is to move files. Different file systems have different naming convention, different ways of expressing line of the text, and so on. Transferring file from one system to another that is different requires handling to overcome this mismatch, such as in electronic mail, remote job entry, directory lookup, and various other facilities.
Then I will talk to you about difference between OC and TCP/IP. First, OC model contains 7 layers, whereas TCP/IP model contains 4 layers. OC model use strict layering resulting in vertical layers, whereas TCP/IP model uses loose layering resulting in horizontal layers. OC model support both connectionless and connection-oriented communication in network layer, but only connection-oriented communication in transport layer, whereas TCP/IP model supports only connectionless communication in the network layer, but both connectionless and communication-oriented communication in transport layer. OC model, it distinguishes between service, interface, and protocol, whereas TCP/IP model does not clearly distinguish between service, interface, and protocol. OC model protocols are better hidden and can be replaced relatively easily as technology changes and or no transparency, whereas TCP/IP model protocols are not hidden and thus cannot be replaced easily or transparency. Replacing IP by a substantially different protocol would be virtually impossible. OC model was devised before the corresponding protocols were designed, whereas the TCP/IP model protocol came first, and the model was a description of the existing protocols. Or in a nutshell, OC refers to open system interconnection, whereas TCP/IP refers to transmission control protocol. OC follows a vertical approach, whereas TCP/IP follows a horizontal approach. OC model, the transport layer, is only connection-oriented, whereas the TCP/IP model is both connection-oriented and connectionless. Then I will also talk to you about communication and network security. LAN or local area network is closed network located in first floor or in first building. However, further development can be one area or complex. LAN usually uses low speed to high speed technology. WAN or wide area network usually refers to long distance connection between geographic areas, so that is the case using a high-speed connection. In certain cases, the WAN also uses the line dial-up as a communication medium. WAN communication lines can be in the form of private circuit technology and packet switching technology. This private circuit technology is included like application presentation. And I want to talk to you about cable and connect media technology. First, the cable is coaxial cable, namely TNet and ThickNet. There's two types of coaxial, namely TNet and ThickNet. TNet is also called 10 2, generally used to connect system with backbone or mainline, where the mainline can be ThickNet. ThickNet has a maximum distance of 185 meters, while TechNet has a maximum distance of 500 meters, both of which have the same speed of 10 Mbps. Coaxial cable problems include first, limited flexibility. When folded in tight direction, it can be damaged the conductor or brick. Second, maximum distance of 185 meters for 10 base 2 and 500 meters for 10 base 5. Third, requires a terminator in the form of a resistance of 10 ohm, 50 ohm. Then, cable twisted pair is a more advanced technology compared to coaxial. This type of cable is quite thin and more flexible. Twisted pair consists of four pairs of wire wrapped around each pair of wires wrapped around each pair and protected with PVC insulation. If there is a copper shell around the cable, it is called a shielded twisted pair or STP, and if it is unprotected, it's called unshielded twisted pair or OTP. This cable provides faster data transfer compared to coaxial, but electromagnetic radiation still occurs. The problem that often occurs in twisted pair cables include first, use of the wrong twisted pair category for use on high-speed networks. Second, use of twisted pair category for use on high-speed um, use of these pair cables that are longer than the recommended maximum distance. 3. Use of UTP environment that have high signal interference. Then protocols. Protocols on transport layer. First, ICMP or Internet Control Message Protocol. ICMP or Internet Control Message Protocol is used to detect network connection on a certain line. IC. 2. IGMP or Internet Group Management Protocol gives the system the right to support multicast data transformation. It's used by the host to register its multicast member. So it's used by connected routers to find the group. 3. ARP and reverse ARP. ARP is Address Resolution Protocol. It's a protocol used to translate IP address into MAC address. And for NAT or Network Address Translation was developed to allow private networks that use any IP address to be connected to the internet network without causing conflict. 5. APIPA. APIPA or Automatic Private IP Addressing has the task of providing an IP address to the system if giving IP address with the DHCP file has the task of providing an IP address to the system if giving IP address with the DHCP files. And then other application protocols used by other layers, namely session, presentation, and application. First, Telnet. Telnet is a network application emulation that supports connection to execute commands and run application remotely. 2. FTP. FTP or File Transport Protocol is a network application that supports file exchange. Third, TFTP or Trivial File Transfer Protocol is a network application that supports file exchange but does not require authentication. 4. SMTP or Simple Mail Transfer Protocol is a protocol used to exchange email message from clients to mail server and between mail server. 5. POP3. POP3 is Post Office Protocol version 3. Is a protocol used to push or pull email from the mail server to the mail client. POP3 uses port address 110. 6. IMAP. IMAP or Internet Mail Authentication Protocol currently uses IMAP 4 or version 4. IMAP is a protocol used to push email from server to email client but is more secure than POP3 and offers the ability to push email headers from the server so that widely used in web-based email client application where only a list email will appear. And then the user can then delete emails without having to download emails to the email client first. 7. The HTTP or Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol is a service for point-to-point responses on the server and requests from client, which then provide TCP or IP configuration to the system when routing. HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol is a protocol used to transmit web page elements from a web server to a web browser. 9. SSL or Secure Circuit Layer is a protocol similar to VPN that works at the session layer. 10. NFS or Network File System is a network service used to exchange files between systems on different platforms. Then I will to talk to you about intranet and extranet component. An intranet is a private network designed to provide the same information service as those on the internet. Extranet is the border between the intranet and the extranet. Extranet is a part of an organization's network that is located right outside the private network or intranet, but is not part of the internet network even though it provides services to the internet as well as the internet.
Firewall is a network security device that monitors incoming and outgoing network traffic and emits or blocks data packets based on a set of security rules. Its purpose is to establish a barrier between your internal network and incoming traffic from external sources, such as the internet, in order to block malicious traffic like virus and hackers. Firewall Implementation. A firewall is a system designed to prevent unauthorized access to or from a private network. You can implement a firewall in either hardware or software form, or a combination of both. Firewalls prevent unauthorized internet users from accessing private networks connected to the internet, especially intranets. All messages entering or leaving the intranet, the local network to which you are connected, must pass through the firewall, which examines each message and blocks those that do not meet the specified security criteria. Several types of firewalls exist. First, packet filtering. Second, circuit level gateway implementation. Third, acting as a proxy server. And the last, web application firewall. And then, security share data. Data sharing has grown in popularity and frequency as people work remotely and enterprises move to the cloud. However, anytime employees use technology to share files between devices, there are security risks involved. File sharing can introduce risks of malware infection, hacking, and loss or exposure of sensitive information. Without proper security measures in place, the benefits of file sharing can be significantly outweighed by the potential for exposing company sensitive data to new security threats. Or the data falls on a server where there is more hard disk space available or on a network file server. And second, AX engine node installation requires a shared folder so that the analytics server and AX server can access data files. Next, configuration security share data. In here, I will describe about risks and rewards of file sharing. Pros: first, transfer large files conveniently. Second, collaborate easily worldwide. And the last, simplify server upkeep. And cons is first, greater risk of virus or malware. Second, needed bandwidth can be costly, and the last, difficult to track public files. Okay, next, configuration audit shared folder. Organization want to keep those files secure, only allowing access to those who need it. To both know and demonstrate that this is the case, think compliance, require visibility into who has access, who is using access, and what actions are being taken upon for this access. First, culture auditing is more than just information. Second, it alerts to abnormalization in file activity and response. Third, use proper filtering capabilities to improve your audit. Fourth, accurately identify where file or folders access is from. Fifth, audit NTFA's permission. Sixth, secure the whole organization, not just a single server. Seventh, exclude irrelevant data and focus on insightful information. 8. Ensure file auditing is intuitive and easy to use. Then use one secret to improve file security user delegation. And the last, include the auditing of files in the code. And the last, I will explain about configuration firewall. First, secure your firewall. If an attacker is able to gain administrative access to your firewall, it is game over for your network security. Therefore, securing your firewall is the first and the most important step of this process. Second, architect your firewall zones and IP address. In order to protect the valuable asset on your network, you should first identify what the asset, for example, payment card data or patient data. Then plan out your network structure so that this asset can be grouped together and placed into network or zone based on similar sensitivity, level, and function. Third, configure access control list. This traffic will be permitted using firewall rules called access control list (ACLs), which are applied to each interface or sub-interface on the firewall. Make your ACL specific to the exact source and or destination IP address and port number whenever possible. Fourth, configure your other firewall serving and logging. If your firewall is also capable of acting as a dynamic host configuration protocol, DHCP, server and network time protocol, and CP server interaction prevention system IPS, then go ahead and configure the service you wish to use. Disable all the extra servers that you don't intend to use. And last, test your firewall configuration. In a test environment, verify that your firewall works as intended. Don't forget to verify that your firewall is blocking traffic that should be blocked according to your ACL configuration. Testing your firewall should include both vulnerability scanning and penetration testing.
Thanks for watching and bye!